public hearing.
Public hearing.
Mike is absent.
This is a public hearing to address issues of changing to the zoning amendments. So, roll call.
All in attendance, Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Mike is absent. We have a quorum.
Now, at this time, I'm going to turn this issue over to Mike Ladd, our economic director, and he's going to tell us all about it.
So it's a zoning resolution tax amendment, elimination of the tax in section 310, highway commercial, referencing the general commercial district. And it's basically section 310.02 uses were left in. We eliminated the general commercial district, then moved those items over. So this section just refers to general commercial district. We want to use
Did you hold public hearings at the zoning commission level?
Yes.
And regional, what was
Regional
regional?
planning.
This is regional planning's advice.
Yes. It's been through all the proper channels,
Yes.
and also I've attended all those zoning commission meetings,
You have.
so I am familiar with all this that's going on here.
Is there any public comment on it?
No.
So I would like to make a motion.
You do want to do it.
Well, oh, I don't make a motion, we don't make a motion to the regular.
You can open the floor up to comments.
Right. Any comments? On this?
Yes, I have.
And your name, please?
James. Here it says eliminate references to general commercial district GC since GC zoning district no longer exists as was combined with the IC zoning districts. IC zoning districts meaning light industrial or
No, integrated commercial.
integrated commercial. So could you please state the zones that exist now for the commercial?
So some of the uses went into highway commercial, and all of the uses from general commercial went into integrated commercial.
So is there a light industrial?
There still is a light industrial.
Okay,
That's it.
okay, thank you. So, at this time, we just take comments from people, and we also go over this so that we understand it too. And then at the regular township trustee meeting, we as a trustee can take a vote on whether we accept this or not, correct? Okay. Is there anything else that needs to come before this public hearing? You want me to
Make a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
I'll second that.
All in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
We are closed at 7:48.
Okay, and the next meeting starts at 8:00.
There you go.
Okay.
That's all right.
Regular meeting of the Brimfield Township Trustee Board is in session at 8 o'clock. Let's say the pledge, please. Pastor, would you pray?
No, Father, we thank you, Lord, for just keeping us pretty safe these recent storms, Lord. We pray that you be with those that weren't so fortunate as we are. We pray this week that you be with all those involved in Safety Town, our police, fire, everyone involved, Lord, that it be a good week for them. We ask for good weather. Lord, now we ask for your blessing upon this meeting, let everybody conduct themselves in a respectful manner and help us to accomplish what needs to be done today. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. And announcements and correspondence. I have an announcement. I don't think we said it here at this point, but the Portage County, they have a committee that is called Celebrate Portage. And in September, they're going to be giving out awards countywide in about 5 or 6 different categories. And the categories that I looked at was the one for Employee of the Year. So that would be for all the employees of Portage County. So anybody can nominate anyone. And then this application goes before that board that's made up of county people. And so I just want to let everybody to know that Dave Buckner has been nominated as an Employee of the Year potential, and also Mike Ladd from Brimfield Township. So I just want to let you know that we're going to be there and see who all else has been nominated in the other. So I'm very pleased. I don't, do we have a meeting guest today?
Yeah, there is not, there's a.
Any on the agenda? Sign in if you wish to speak during public comment.
So yeah, you gotta make people.
We're trying to.
If you want to speak, remember you have to sign in during public comments.
Right.
I'm sorry, I just took it up here, so.
I just got it in my hand. So I have Owen Wall.
How's she doing?
Right, the comments, if you look at your agenda, the comments are further on, but I just want everybody to know that if you are going to plan to say something, you need to let us know up front before we get going with everything. Okay, thank you. So we have here, I need a motion to accept the minutes from the July 23rd, 2024 regular meeting. May I have a second?
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
All in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Are there any changes or additions to the agenda? If not, I'd like to make a motion to accept any additions at this time.
I'll second for discussion.
Okay, I don't have anything further to add. Okay, we're good with that?
All in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
And purchase orders, acknowledgement, that we've all reviewed those purchase orders, and then we have to sign those also, that we've seen those. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the purchase orders as presented.
Second.
All in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion
Then we
passed.
have warrants. These are the actual checks that we sign. We review those and we sign them to show that we accept them. So Nick, you want to make that one?
I'll make a motion to approve the warrants as presented to the board.
And I will second that.
All in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
We have a section here on public comment. That was where Owen Wolf would make any comments he'd like to make. There is a 3-minute limit per person, and we thank you in advance for being here today and for your comments. Now, what happens is we take your comments, but we do not have a one-on-one conversation. You just tell us what you think and we'll take it under advisement. And your name, sir?
Owen Wolf.
And who do you represent?
Sheets.
Okay, we'll go right ahead.
I'm not sure if there's anything to say anymore. Mike just informed me that we were going to be tabled. We're here to discuss the Copper Creek sign on State Route 43 environmental development. The request to remove the sign to allow our delivery trucks and tanker trucks to turn properly on Sanctuary Drive. But again, I just found out we're being tabled, so I don't think there's anything beyond that I need to say this morning.
Okay. Thank you. And let's see, are there any other public comments to be made? Time before we go on.
My client asked me to put him on the list, but he's not here, so
Okay.
he will be here.
Well,
Just,
Yep.
so you know. I know that will be past that. Whatever it is.
Okay. Okay. Now, are there any safety concerns, Dave? Anything?
Yeah, working on trees from last night.
Oh, we had a
Lynn-
terrible storm yesterday.
Lynn Road and Sherman at the intersection will probably be closed for a little while longer. Still waiting for AT&T to come fix their cables. So that might be closed for a few days.
Okay, and what's that street again, please?
It's the intersection of Sherman and Lynn. We have road closed signs all at the major intersections, let people know candles sticked off, so.
Okay, at this time then, Dave, thank you. At this time, we will have the Chief Murphy give his police report.
Yeah, thanks. So just a couple of information items this morning. Update on who else hired, the two most recent hired officers, Justice Smith and Officer Roman are currently field trained, and that's going well so far. We do have one final position we'll be looking to fill, so we'll be working on that going forward. Or a couple of candidates we have in the background process right now, but I'll keep the board advised on that process moving forward. Board's already aware of kindergarten state school, obviously more this week, so we have staff up there today, tomorrow, and Friday. With graduation taking place on Friday. A couple of updates on the new business. Just want to make the board aware our school research officer recently completed Alice training. And if you're familiar with Alice, the acronym stands for alert, lockdown, inform, counter, evacuate. He completed certification training down in Stark County last month, so he'll be doing some training with school staff, new teachers, new staff coming on board for the school year. They'll be going through Alice training with Officer Putnam and Jason Shearer to go to school. So that training will be taking place there this month, graduation starts. And one of the final item under new business updates, we are having a dine to donate event with Joe's Barbecue. Joe has graciously agreed to donate his profits to our Shop at the Cop program for the day, and that's going to be taking place on Sunday, August 18th. So anybody who goes to Joe's Barbecue and eats that day, any profits that they're going to go back to Joe to go to our Shop at the Cop program. So we'll have some posters we'll put out on our social media feeds, and I'm sure Joe will post this up on his social media feeds too. We just wanted to make the board aware of the upcoming event here in a few weeks. Other than that, that's all I have for this week.
Okay, thank you very much. And Chief Maloney?
Updates, as Chief Mosley said, we will attend State Town also. Our date is on Thursday. We have Friday graduation. I will not be there. I'll be on a personal day for that day, but I'll have representatives there for that. The new pickup that we purchased a few months back will get the lights and sirens at an earlier date than expected. It's scheduled for August 9th, which will be next week. So that would be good, so we'll be fully in service on it. I would like to have acceptance of a resignation from two firefighters, Jake Butcher and Trevor Rocker, effective August 15th. And so I can explain, two of our firemen had got an opportunity to move to a city fire job, and their choice accepted. So it's nothing against what we can provide. They just got a better opportunity for them, and they will be moving on. When that does, it moves, opens two immediate positions, which I've already posted. We're accepting applications right now. Typically, we would go through a pretty in-depth process of testing and applications and whole process. I'm going to do a little bit backwards because of the immediate openings. I'm accepting applications immediately and maybe test second from there. But we'll see what walks through the door.
So while we're on that, why don't you make?
Yeah, so we'll go one at a time.
right.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Jake Butcher from the Brimfield Township Fire Department.
Second,
All in favor, Sue,
yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Last name is Walker. All right, I'd also like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Trevor Bachman from the Brimfield Fire. That's awesome.
Second.
All in favor, Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
I'd also just like to thank Jake and Trevor both for their service to the township. They were excellent employees. She and I talked about it. It's a hard loss for those two, but I also wish them the best of luck on their new endeavors. As a township, sometimes it's hard to compete with the cities. I also know there's some hometown connections there too with those individuals. So I respect that, but I wish them the best of luck. We're going to miss them, and you never have to pass me across anything.
Yeah. Good employees.
I would like to see a letter sent to them.
Okay.
A good positive letter that would be a good recommendation for them for anything else that they want to do.
I would agree. If you're okay with that. Or next year, come with me, I don't know.
No, I can remember this chief board. You draft from the chief or draft from the board?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then I need a.
Oh, we need a second and a vote.
You want to vote on it first?
Okay.
Do you want to vote on sending the letter? I don't think we need a motion.
No, accepting the resignations.
Yeah, we got this.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then over the past few weeks, few months, we've been discussing an ambulance purchase, knowing that the purchase will not happen today. It will actually happen within 3 years. So I did meet with trustees individually and fiscal office to discuss, and answer any questions. Everybody seems to be okay with it. Again, knowing that we purchased today, we receive in 3 years from now. So I'm asking for approval on the purchase of the 2025 E450 ambulance. That would be a Lifeline chassis out of from the same company that I purchased the other two. That have been very good for us. Total cost not to exceed $410,000. This would include ambulance and equipment to staff. Any questions?
Yeah, we'll get a motion on the floor, but can I get a motion right? John, is this going to be
It is not. It's going to be, a portion of it's going to be, we're waiting for the loan.
Okay.
We're still, so part of the motion has to be contingent on the pre-approval loan that we're getting. It just hasn't come back yet. But I don't know what the payments.
Payment coming out of M&I then, or is it?
Well, there's $41,000, so I don't want to say, yeah, all of it's coming out if it's $45,000. 41's coming out of the M&I.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the 2025 Ford G450 ambulance, contingent upon approval of the loan application to be paid for out of the maintenance and improvement fund at $41,000 a year, the remainder out of the fire budget.
Okay, and I will second that.
So Craig, this is, we currently have 2 ambulances. We're coming up on the 10-year mark on those, correct?
So 7 and 8 years on that. We try to replace it every 10.
Okay.
So getting this done now pushes us to 10, but then it puts me at 2 at 10 and 1,
Because we're not trading in, because we're now growing capacity that we need for ambulances.
we're at that capacity at the moment, but definitely in 3 years from now, I'll need that third. So just to play this out, I asked what would be the trade-in value. In fairness, is that I could not tell you I could not tell you in 3 years what it would be. He said, but what I can tell you is that I'll give you a chassis value. So 30,000. I said, no. The answer is no. Not trading in for that. So
In future casting, so we're looking at coming back to the board for another ambulance at some point to get into the
I
cycle.
think we would have to. I prefer to go out for grants.
Yeah, that's part of it, yes, because we're trying to get some grant funding for the second ambulance. But then we also just need to make the board aware that we're coming up on the life of the fire engine also. So the fire engine, how old?
26 years old. We tried to close that at 25, so we're going to be 5 years behind. So it's the same build, it's a 3-year build on that also.
But that was the second option we were going before another squad, right?
Yeah.
This squad and then an engine.
Ambulance, fire truck, ambulance.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Depending on how grants are made. So-
Right.
So
If you get the grant,
we're
yeah.
looking for grants, because grant season now opening.
Mhm.
And I think the board, even we got to work some funds around a little bit from other.
Oh, if we get a grant, I'm all for it. But
Yeah,
if we don't
have
get a
to-
grant, I guess we'd have to go in that order if we didn't get a grant.
Yeah,
Okay.
but, because the bill time's what, 3 years on the engine too? So really, we almost need to start thinking about that process too, once we see what the grants look like.
And that's looking like $1 million. It's crazy. It is what it is. So yeah, that's the things that are coming up next. And other than that, it's always a cycle, right? And I would think you're behind that, then it's just down the road.
So we're just trying to get back into the cycle for the ambulances. And the reason we were out of the cycle, just to get people curious, is that we only get 2 grants for the past 2 grants. So that really was the reason.
Incorrect, I only had 1 grant. So we had purchased an ambulance and we got a grant, so we just got 2. So I got 3 one last time, so.
So now we're trying to get back into that cycle.
Otherwise, we would have spaced it out a little bit differently. But, maybe just one more thing, so the 410 is out there, that's my high number. I'm hoping like BWC can get a piece of it and we can bring that number way down.
Exactly, it's not just the ambulance, but that's the housing.
Yes, that's the power cot, the heart monitor, you know, and that's me going out to UA saying, hey, can you give us one? Maybe, you know, that's 40,000 there, so I'm hoping to bring that on.
But this gets involved.
It does,
Okay.
and
Okay,
it's just what we have to do.
okay, we have a motion and we have a second, so I call for the vote.
She already voted for it, Emily.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
done it yet.
Oh, no, we didn't. You're right. All those in favor, Sue,
Yes,
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
okay.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna continue on here and discuss issues for the administration. We have no old business. We need a board approval. A resolution authorizing the transfer of real property between Brimfield Township and Sutton Landing. There is a statement here, a settlement closing statement from the title company that outlines what is due to the township and what the township agreed to reimburse. So,
That might be,
yeah.
should let Mike maybe.
Yeah, so we'll make the motion that one, Mike.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to authorize the transfer of real property by and between Brimfield Township and HGG Settlement Communities LT.
Second,
Okay.
Any little update on where we're at?
Yes, this is, the water park entrance, this is the end that's going into the park as well as the parking lot, it's gonna be structured in the back. We swapped land with some crossings, at no cost, which is nice. We took a portion of their land and gave us a portion of theirs, and just did a land swap. I know there's a lot of legalities that go on with this, and this just closes the deal.
And then we're set to sign on Friday, correct?
Correct.
That's with this motion. This will allow me access to the flat.
Yes, and now we're ready to on the bid, so we'll notify them after that they can start. So that coincides with the VA center going in, and we have cross easements going back and forth. So that's what that.
Okay.
okay, thank you for that good discussion on it. So we are ready for a vote.
All in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed. There is, just so you know, there is a signature page.
Rochelle's supposed to be
Yeah.
right after this meeting.
Oh, she coming over here? I didn't know.
No, we're going to the.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure you guys knew you needed.
Yeah, Holly talked to me last night, she said we needed the signatures to that day, so we're not here, so we just need to drive straight out.
Okay, you ready for your business? Okay, I have here in the section B of the fire station in the academic building that we're building, we have 5 quotes for using the barnwood that we have from one of this place. And I would just like to talk about this here. We have ordered a desk. And when you go into a real nice first-class meeting room, where there's a board, people sitting up here, well, then there's a platform, and then there's a wall, like, which is a desk. So we have tried to, and we're working at it, doing well with it, is barnwood and things from Wanda's house, which was right next door to the township. And Wanda and her husband, she was a dispatcher when we were all volunteers years ago in the 50s and whatever. We want to give some thank you to that family and use some of the wood from that house. So at this point, we have here quotes on how much it would cost for this wall to be built, or this cover for all of us. That way it keeps all you people away from us when you get upset with us. You know, there's a judge's corner. It would be nice. It would really be nice. I won't talk to you about it. So with these quotes, you got your quote page out there?
I just have to
Okay.
regularly use this.
I love it. Brimfield Township design, a quote using the barn wood was $39,875. Now that would give you the word. Give me that word for what it's called.
Yeah, it's
It's that, it would be the desk. So anyway, their quote was $39,875. And we did rust belt reclamation, we did Brown Dog Woodworks, Edgewood Creative, and Dover Cabinet. The last two, there was no response. So between the three that we could look at, the Ricky Cano Design Company was the lowest bid on all of that. And I'm looking at this desk to be there at least 50 to 75 years. It's real substantial for us. So, Nick, do you have any comments about that?
Yeah, just for clarification on the desk and the area where the board members and the departments would be sitting, that was originally drawn in the design. We expect the elevated platform. We had already spec'd and paid for running the electric and the computer cables and all that to that area. But the desk itself was not part of the original quote out to the contractor. That's the piece that we have to bring in. So based upon those architectural designs, these are the quotes that we got to put that area in. It's not just for the Board of Trustees. This is also going to be used by the Zoning Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals. All the public hearings will be done in this area too. And we'll just allow for a little better look to the room, but it also allows us to do some cable management, for individuals to work from up there. This is supposed to be more of an heirloom piece. We want to take that barnwood that was in that old house, that was a very old house and a big part of the community. Instead of having that wood just chopped up and thrown away, we've used those for some projects. We have a table coming to the fire department that should hopefully be finished soon. And then this is another one of those projects where we're trying to reclaim some of that wood. This has always been a part of the original design. I was under the assumption initially that it was going to be part of the build out from our contractor, but it was not in the language of that contract. So this is a piece that we need to bring in. We tasked Holly with finding the best price she could. She reached out to 5 people. We had another person who we thought was going to build it, but that deal fell through. So that's why we can move it back out here.
We had a good discussion. We'll explain to everybody what we would like to do.
We do have to have that out of the M&I
Okay.
because it's not out of the loan. So we'll do the townage M&I.
And when we say desk, I know a lot of people are like, it's a lot of money for a desk. It's not just a single seat. This is an area that's going to hold 9 seats. So you're going to have, it's a very long piece that includes not only just using the barnwood, but that includes the countertops that have to be installed, all those pieces that are part of that design process.
Okay. Ready to go with that.
So, yep, I'll make a motion. So I'll make a motion to award Ricky Tanner Designs the board meeting desk build project to the new town hall at a price not to exceed $39,875.
And then it'll be paid out of the 2193 jet. All right.
All right.
All in favor, Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
And we go to zoning and economic development. So,
So you can see a purple
Engineering has started site work on the building on modular, we're currently working on a tip for this project that would take us from your 11 to 30 on that tip. Currently trying to work on that for public improvement. VA Center and Cancer Imaging and Infusion Center has started site work. Dunkin' Donuts at 152 Thomas Road is now approved and waiting for payment on their permits. Jarrett Fleet System continues to do their revision. It looks really good. Their signs are next and those are as well. Hickory Hill Subdivision continues selling homes for this development phase 2 now in construction. They're cutting out for the roadway, grading for the site. And then Sheets has started their site work. They have a board request here as we look at the list. My first one is the board approval is needed for zoning resolution text amendment, eliminating the text in section 310.00 Iowa Commercial District referencing the general commercial district, section 310.02. And it's public hearing prior to this.
Okay, for the board approval for zoning resolution text amendment changes, we did have a public hearing this morning at 7:45. And at this time, then we'll bring this over to our board for a vote. And I would like to make that motion. I move that we accept the zoning resolution text amendment changes, eliminating the text of section 31000 Highway Commercial District, which is HC, referencing General Commercial District, GC is what they're called, in section 310.02. So I'd like to make that motion. I need a second.
Second for discussion.
Yes.
Just for the record, this public hearings were held both at the zoning commission and the trustee level. Yes. And with the regional planning board feedback phase. All right. And was there any positive or negative comments from the public?
We just had one public comment asking if it was affected the LI district at this moment. Other than that,
Thank you.
Okay.
All good?
Yeah.
All in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
next thing I have is board approval request from the trustees to terminate Copper Creek sign agreement of 11/10/2015, remove the sign in the island on Sanctuary View Drive. You guys got that information.
I'd like to make a recommendation on conversations with our business manager and conversations with legal to table this board approval currently, while Sheets and Copper Creek continue that conversation. So they can resolve that. Good with that, Sue?
Yeah, that's a second.
All those in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Then we need board approval.
Planning board approval for trustee approvals needed this done in the abandoned hotel at 4423 State Rock 43 to the prosecutor for further action. This hotel has been vacant for more than 2 years now. It meets, in my opinion, meets the definition of abandoned construction. So they did put the sign as far as fencing as well as hardware, which is not allowed. We send a violation letters to affect that response. I think it's time to at least send it to the prosecutor to see what we can do, whether that's search warrants, where we get police fire, building health, into the building, find out what's going on, get a full report, or does that mean we pursue it for demolition? I'm not so sure. I don't know the legalities of that.
Yes. I move that we have trustee approval, that we send a letter to prosecutor for the abandoned hotel. That's the Old Comfort Inn. They had such a nice playground inside with a pool and all those things. I missed that. But we'd like to take further action and get moving on that. 4423 State Route 43.
I will second that.
All in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
One of the things on this list, and I'd just like to add, because we get a lot of questions about it, is interest in the plaza for Dollar General was. And I am working currently with 2 developers they're looking emergency purchase, as well as get everything on back taxes paid and do a complete facelift and pay. But I'll be working on that, keeping this updated, and I'm that goes forward.
So before we move to the road department, John, should we amend the agenda and add that liquor permit because it wasn't under admin? We will pass that already. Do you want it under fiscal?
Fiscal's fine. Yeah, fiscal's fine.
Okay, we'll amend the agenda then.
Well, it's on there. It's under fiscal.
Not on the most updated one.
Well, the one I'm going off of here has it on the,
No, mine don't have nothing.
Sue doesn't have it, I don't have it, and the public doesn't have it.
so which one am I going off of?
That's it. Under fiscal or not.
Mine on the bottom.
We'll need to amend it, we'll amend it when we get there.
Well, we got two of these floating around then.
Well, then Sue had a different one too, at the very beginning.
Well, Holly had a lot on her plate yesterday, running out of going, what she's got going this morning, so we'll give her a break on that one.
Dave, it's your turn. What's going on down there?
Nothing much, just big tree damages. Just want to leave a few updates from old business stuff. We got the foundations poured at the cemetery. We're starting to get the slag in for the chip and seal project. There's a big mound in my shop right at the moment. We've been doing some road mowing and boom mowing, clearing up the roadways. We've been working on some ditching issues, just in a few places. We're getting prepared to do some culvert replacements, which will probably start next week. We're getting a dirt patcher ready to go too, where we can start filling in some excess potholes and stuff in places. I'd like to have the board accept the resignation of our part-time seasonal employee, Ryan Tompkins. He resigned last night, or quit, whatever you want to call it.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Ryan Hopkins as our part-time seasonal employee.
Second.
All in favor, Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yeah.
Motion passed.
That was a quick. I have some new business. I need the board's approval to put up a no parking signs at Cranberry Creek Phase 3 and 4. We passed Phase 1 and 2 earlier, but now I have Phase 3 and 4. I mean, I can name off the roadways if you want them. Orchard Circle, Tulip Lane, Blackberry Circle, and Cranberry Creek Road. I've had a couple residents ask if I could put up some no parking signs. So I want to make sure I got it all passed and approved first.
Okay. Do you want to bring back a proposal, or do you have some of the signs available, or?
Oh, we have the sign, we have the signs. I actually bought enough signs when we did 1 and 2. Figuring this would happen once the roads got dedicated 3 and 4. So.
I think for legalities, let's list the names in that motion, John.
Okay.
So I'd like to make the motion to approve no parking signs in Cranberry Creek Phases 3 and 4 to include the following roads. Can you read those again, Dave?
Orchard Circle, Tulip Lane, Blackberry Circle, and Cranberry Creek Road.
Need a second discussion.
Okay, should I finish right here? I'll second that.
Yeah, it's just gonna be on one side of the road, correct?
Yes, it'll be on the fire hydrant sides of the road, just like we've done all the other ones. Yeah, it's not no parking on both sides, it'll just be one side of the road. We're having an issue on Orchard Circle mainly. There's cars parked on both sides of the road again, just like was happening on some of the other ones in Phase 1, where it's hard to get through. So residents are asking for the no parking signs, but like I told them, I said, it will be on the fire hydrant sides. So these cars will all be in front of your houses then. You know, I just let them know ahead of time. They said, that's fine, but they just want to be able to get through the roadway without worrying about cars on both sides of the road.
All good?
Yes.
Sue, do you want to second that?
Yes.
All in favor, Nick, or Sue? Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
I'd like to share with you all that
You good?
Parks and Recs, and our business manager, Holly, we're doing Safety Town today, tomorrow, and Friday. So that's why they aren't here at our meeting today. So for Parks and Recs, I want to read what Cassie has put in here. Old business updates, July program stats, she had 7 programs, 1 outreach event, 722 engagements. And year-to-date, she's had 47 programs, 5 outreach events, 4,542 engagements. Then her upcoming programs, August the 9th, there is a summer concert at Kelso House with a band called Off the Charts. And it's from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Bring your chair, bring something to nibble on, and bring your drinks or whatever, but it is a free concert for anybody that wants to attend. August the 13th through August the 16th, she's having a bug camp from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Right now, she has 11 registrants. So I think she's been a busy gal. So going forward with Joe Jameson with the information technology, what's going on over there?
So I have, would like to ask for approval on adding online or adding backup to our OneDrive. So we, from an administration and zoning and a few smaller other departments, we store all of our documents and data out in the cloud with OneDrive. Right now, we don't have any way of restoring any data if it was to get lost or deleted accidentally. So I'm asking for board approval in the amount of $2,592 yearly to add that to our Barracuda backup solution. So right now we back up our email to Barracuda to add the licensing needed to add our OneDrive to that would be an additional $2,592.
I would like to make that motion for discussion to add OneDrive backup to Barracuda Networks Archives solution at a cost of $2,592 per year.
Yes.
I'll second that for discussion. Is that unlimited storage space or is there a cap on that storage space?
It's by user. We definitely have more users than we do people that are actually utilizing it. But you know, I'm gonna pick on zoning because it is the largest of our storage. You know, we have some departments that have 3 people that are probably 90% of our storage, so it balances out. But unfortunately, because of the way licensing is done, it is done by user. But it is unlimited storage. It'll give us generational backups. So if someone overwrites a file or makes a change and says, "Oops, I didn't mean to do that," they can contact me. I can pull it back from a different date and time. So it does give me the ability to, which in my experience is the most common. It's I didn't mean to edit that file, or I accidentally overwrote, this file, and you may not realize it until a month later. So it gives me the ability to go back and say, okay, in point in time, give me this file from this particular date, or, worst case scenario, someone deletes an entire folder by accident, or whatever, I can restore data. Right now, while the data's in the cloud, it's protected per se, but there's no way of me going back and pulling files from a certain date and time.
Yeah, that might be concern with just zoning, because I know we started scanning all the prints.
Right.
There's a lot of data. I wanted to make sure we're able to get everything back.
Yeah, there isn't a storage space. It is done by user.
And then are we going to look at records retention? Will this help with our records retention program so we can store things digitally then? How far back does that system go?
Ever.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll help.
So it's permanent.
Yes,
So we can go all the way back to day 1 10 years from now.
correct. Yes.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, call for the vote.
All in favor? Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed. I do have one thing, Joe. Can you keep a list of all those annual new things that we're putting out there, just so when we do budget next year, we know, I know to remember to put the OneDrive out there and all that. Okay.
Before moving to cemetery too, Joe, I had a phone call this week about our phone system. There's some concerns about the automated attendant. It just goes from phone to phone to phone, and people aren't answering, people are out of the office, maybe like you go to lunch, Holly goes to lunch, Cassie goes to lunch, and there's only one person, but by the time it like circles around, it takes a long time. Is there a way to change our automated attendance setup so that it allows when people are out of office to like put themselves in out of office so we get a quicker response to that?
Yes, there is. They would have to mark themselves unavailable. So it would be a software-based piece that they'd have to install on their computer, and then the train of that piece so the system doesn't send a call to them.
Okay. So, I would say as a recommendation that we look at that both from a technology standpoint from you, making sure that those pieces are there and they're trained on it, and then I know Holly's not here, but then some policy procedure on that piece too, so that when somebody's calling in, there's nothing worse than being in that loop, right? Like just waiting for an answer. And then is there a way at a certain point that it just goes to voicemail? And then
It does.
back?
It does ultimately go to voicemail, yes.
Okay. The concern that a resident had was it took a very long time to like cycle through.
Correct. It rings 4 times amongst 5 people. So yes, that's how long it takes before it hits voicemail. Is it rings 4 times at Holly's phone, and then it rolls to the next person. That person has 4 times to ring. So we right now there's 5 people in rotation, and it is set for 4 rings per person. So they have an opportunity to answer the call if it comes in. But ultimately, if it makes it all the way through and no one answers, it would go to voicemail.
Because right now, if Jenny was on the phone, no one would answer that there because no one's there. It would just keep rolling, right?
Right, exactly. Right now, Jendy's the only person in the office, so it would have,
And that's a concern, right? Like at some point, it's gotta go to voicemail, hey, we're sorry, we'll call you back, we may be out of the office for lunch or whatever.
Maybe just
Somebody's
skip
supposed
all of those, right?
Always supposed to be in the office, right? That's how we designed this, like we have right navigation.
Yep.
So that we have coverage, but then it gets in this endless loop and it's frustrating for the residents.
No, I get it.
So I think we need to look at that technology and then we need to look at the administrative side to make sure that we have some policy procedures in place.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go through with the administrative staff and show them how to use the ability to mark themselves as unavailable.
Okay. And then is there a way to program it? For example, Jenny's the only one there. It rings to her a few times, but she's on the phone and it just goes to voicemail, or is it going to stay in the loop?
It still goes to voicemail today.
Okay.
It doesn't actually go in a loop today. It never has. It just has to go through 5 people before it hits voicemail.
Okay.
So I think people are listening to it ring, 5 times, I'm terrible at that. 5 times 4,
20 times.
20, it has to ring 20 times before it hits voicemail.
But you could mark it like right now. that
Right
you're-
now,
that
if-
you're not there, you get
right.
taken out of the
So
loop.
the example would be Jendy is actually the last of the 5. So right now, if someone was to call, it would ring a lot before it hit Jendy because it's gonna route through the front office first before it hits Jendy. So it would take quite a while for right now. Now with the technology, if everyone was marked unavailable, it would then just ring Jendy.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that, because like today's a great example, right? This
Right.
office for 8 a.m., everybody's out, so now we're gonna wait 20 rings.
Correct. Yes.
So, all right. Appreciate it.
Yes, I will get that corrected.
Okay, continuing on, there is no old business or new business with the cemetery. So at this point, then, John, I would turn it over to you. for the
We need to,
amendments.
we need to add, amend the agenda to add a Jack's Pizza liquor permit request.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda under fiscal office new business A to include Jack's Pizza.
Sue?
Yes, I'll second.
All those in favor, Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. Under fiscal office, we do have a liquor permit for Jack's Pizza. It is a new permit for beer is what it is, a C. So this is our chance to request a hearing at the Columbus Office Division of Liquor Control. So I'm going to have a motion out there that we're requesting a hearing at the Ohio Liquor Control Board for the Jack's Pizza liquor permit.
So the motion is in a positive mode.
Yep.
So
So I need someone to make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, and then we're gonna vote on it. Sue, do you want to request a hearing at the,
Yes.
okay, Nick, do you want to request a hearing?
No.
Okay, being that Mike is not here, that is a pass, but since it's a pass, the positive does not pass.
Motion fail.
Right.
Motion fails, therefore.
Right, that's what I was saying there. It didn't, because we don't have enough. We only have 2 votes. So the positive is gonna fail.
Correct.
So motion failed. Then I'll just fill out the paperwork appropriately. That's all I have.
And we do not have an executive session today, but we also have a session before we dismiss on for the good of the order.
And that's just for the board to answer questions.
So we take whatever input, whatever your questions are, whatever.
Sue,
Yes.
excuse me. You know, I wasn't able to get here at 8:00.
Mhm.
Can I still have my 3 minutes?
Yes,
Can I do it now?
yes.
My name is Clyde Pearson. I live at 1226 Warren Drive. And Joe, thank you for fixing the elevator. Joe did it, and it's perfect. Joe did a good job, but it took 3.5 years to fix it. Okay. But I listened to it, and only I would listen to it. Okay, now, what I'm concerned about is it legal to fly that flag out there? It's real. Okay. That amendment on the flag. Now, what I'm really concerned about is we're gonna spend $10 million to build a fire station administration business. And the residents voted to do that. Now, we are not going to, somebody made a decision to not have a secretary or somebody to police it. Now, I think that everything I'm saying is my opinion, okay? I think it's wrong. Now, the person that made that decision not to do it is Holly. We had a long discussion with her. And I said, Holly, can I speak that you made that decision? She said, yes, I did make that decision. Okay, now, I believe that Holly's made decisions. John, you know I love you. You know I love you.
Okay.
You know that I love your mom and dad.
Okay.
But,
Uh-oh, here it goes.
okay, but you know and I know that there's only 3 people can make a decision. They can't make a decision unless he's asked.
Here's your recommendation.
Roy can't make a decision, and anybody else can't make a decision unless the trustees approve. Okay? Okay, if I'm wrong, you correct me after that. Now, you do a fine job. Don't get me wrong, but Holly runs to you, and you can't do what Holly, so Holly's making a decision that's not going through the board. I don't think it's legal. Anything that she did that costs money, it's not legal. Because it's gotta be board approved, 3 people. Okay, now, the reason I think we need somebody there to read it now, we need some nice person that's got, not me. You don't want me to meet people because, I could be nice, I could be a pain in your hind end, you know that.
Sure.
But you need a nice person. Now, she's gonna greet the people if they come in, but if you need her to type something, Roy needs her to type something, Mike, whoever, Nick, Sue, whoever, but don't put a burden on her, I need it ASAP. So she can do other things other than sit there and stare out the window. I think that there's a lot of people in the township that does not know that if you call the ambulance a squad.
Thank you for your comments and your input, but your 3 minutes are up.
Is my time up?
Yeah, your 3 minutes are up.
Okay, then, that's fine. But then the next meeting then, at the next
Well,
meeting.
you can always talk to all 3 of us individually at any time.
Well,
You can talk to us.
Okay.
But
Okay, I
anyway,
had a very nice
time is up.
conversation. Okay, thank you.
Is there any other comments for the good of the order?
I'd like just to make one comment under the good of the order, just so it's clear and it's on the record. There was a concern with a payroll issue related to the fire department, and John, this is just a response to your email on 8/6/24.
Okay.
Where I brought to your attention back on let's see the date I sent. I sent this on 7/30/2024. On 7/30/2024, I was made aware of the payroll issue. In your email response to me on 8/6, you said I do have an issue. Then your email on 7/30/24 was the first time payroll and myself were made aware of this. This concerns me. Do you have any reason why this occurred? I can't answer why the PD or the FD waited to bring the second payroll issue forward, but the day that it was brought to my attention, it was brought to Chief Malawi's attention, and it was sent to your office immediately that evening. So there was no delay on my behalf.
Okay, I was just concerned because we would normally, Craig would just come over and we would figure it out. So,
Right, but they brought it to me because the union was following the command. The union's concern was they brought up payroll issues, because we know we've had payroll issues in the township before, and they continue to see them. So instead of going to the chief, they brought it to the liaison, which is what we would expect them to do, to express their concern. Their concern was that these payrolls continue to happen, that they were looking at filing agreements. I said, give us an opportunity to implement some changes to make sure that we try to reduce the potential for these errors. That's why they brought it to me, and that's why I sent the email to your office.
okay.
I did take a little issue though with the concerns that you raised, that I was taking a while to get information to you. I sent it to you.
No, that wasn't directed at you.
Okay.
There was another person that was copied in on the email as well. I'll just say, Craig, I was concerned that I didn't hear from Craig ahead of time before it got to your level. Because normally our process, if something would go on like that, and it happens, we have payroll issues from our side and from the department side. It's not just one-sided. I mean, it's a manual process, and I have a human doing it, so everybody's going to make an error. It comes from both department side. They have a human doing it as well. So that was my concern with that. My only concern with that is that neither one of my payroll people knew about it, and I didn't know about it. And then it was already out there in the
Craig wasn't
situation.
made aware until that day also.
I didn't know that either.
Craig on that, and I directed Craig at that point to send me an email with the documents so that I could draft something to your office and say, hey, here's where we're at for the supporting documentation of where we are.
No, that's fine. That wasn't, I mean, my direction was at Craig, I'll say it, because I didn't know that he heard that day. I thought maybe he knew about it before, it didn't come to us, and then just came to you, and then it came that
It
direction.
brought it to me, and then we brought it from the
Okay.
union meeting to Craig.
That's why I wrote it in there, so you know.
Because my concern is I had also addressed this to you on 7/30, and I didn't get a response from you until I sent a second email on 8/5, and then received a response on 8/6. So, just a little quicker communication from your office would be appreciated, because there's been other documentation requests that still exist that I haven't received, so.
In regards to that, it was a weekend, and then we had to figure out what it was. We didn't even know, nobody even knew what it was, so we had to figure it out,
So I sent it on 7/30, which was a Tuesday. Correct.
No,
Yeah, date of email sent 7:30 at 2:59 p.m.
so 7/6 was yesterday, Tuesday.
So 8/6 was Tuesday, so sent to you on 7:30. I followed up with you a week later on 8/5 and got a response on 8/6, 7 days later. So it wasn't a weekend, it was.
Well, there were weekend days in there, but
Yeah.
I have a job as well, so, plus we needed to figure out what that was. We had no idea until we got your email.
Just being clear on that. So I
Okay.
appreciate that. The second piece that does concern me though too is that you said, as for the union, not sure what they want to agree as this issue is being taken care of, but if they do, they do. I don't think that should be our stance. I really think we need to pride ourselves on trying to work with them to try to avoid those grievances. And I think putting some documentation, which Craig and I were working on a change from the fire department payroll side, that should be our goal to avoid those grievances.
I understand you. I disagree with that, but a grievance, we're working on it. It's not like we came to a standstill and they're going to file a grievance. We were made aware of it and we're correcting it. So I'm not sure why the grievance word would even be thrown out there. If we would have said-
Repeated, they've had a lot of payroll issues. I think it's the second time.
Sure.
This firefighters that came money back, it creates financial hardship. That's his current concern, he's frustrated.
Well, maybe that's where we go back to the automated payroll system that we do need, because this is 1989 system that we're doing through an Excel spreadsheet, and I'll guarantee you this, that there will be continued errors the way we're doing it now from our perspective and the department saying it over, because it's manual. You're filling in a sheet, you're having to add things up manually. It's a pain in the ass.
And I'm not opposed to exploring automated system, but the issue being those systems have to work with the current systems that are PD and FD have, because those systems are comprehensive. They don't just handle payroll, they handle a lot of other issues.
Right.
So.
Well, the payroll system we have
Yeah.
is not, it doesn't work that way. So
Okay, that's not,
that's,
I think that we should really look into and get some information back on having, an outside people who have the computer, they got all the little computer programs in school like this, and it comes out and it's perfect.
Well, I want to say something, I'd like to speak on that, because I've had some initial discussions with Holly, I talked to Craig a little bit too about what our systems do, and we had some discussion about streamlining payroll, and I totally understand that concept. So, for example, the platform that I use has the ability to export our data into multiple payroll systems. I know we looked at ADP, sat down on whether it's ADP and the other was Paycor, I sat on both of those. But I'm going to share the concern with you that I shared with Holly. I said, I'm not getting rid of the system I have. I'm not going to do that because what I have is built for public safety, so I'm not going to cut that for something that doesn't do what I have. But if we had the ability to export payroll data, which I think is the main goal, we can certainly accommodate that with what we have. So I just want to put that on there.
Yeah, thank you. And that's my concern. I don't want you to have to go through your system because it's comprehensive to what you do, just like Labs Act is very comprehensive to what the FD does there.
but we have 3 different payroll systems coming to us, to one system that we have to accommodate it to. So that makes an issue as well. Because fire has a different one than PD does.
Correct.
And
And it's just,
roads-
public service is very, it's a different.
Yeah.
They have every day, they have additional days. It's a complex system, but other cities and villages and townships are able to manage it, you know. I just don't want the push to be, they've got their systems to make them all do a single system. That wouldn't be effective for them.
Our issue is it's a manual human interaction system that we use right now. And I will guarantee you that someone's going to make an error. It's just going to happen. I mean, you got a human adding things up and inputting. I mean, it's just going to happen. So we try our best not to do that. And I know the departments try their best not to do that, but it's just going to happen. If we had a payroll system where it was automated, it wouldn't happen. So I guess that's the only issue I have with not having it that way. I mean, if it stays that way, I mean, we might have payroll issues down the
The example I'll use it when I was in Statesboro, we had our own software to manage all my time off of our operations, and we exported our data to ADP. Fire had their own system to export to ADP, cities ADP. So what we're talking about can be done. We can do that. I'm not saying the council can use ADP, but there is a way to accomplish, I think, both sides.
Yeah, and that would work for us at ADP because now they have a standard built. They know how to do Kelly days. They know how to do all that stuff. And it gets automated right in there. And we don't have a human error. That's
Yeah, the catch there is, we need to keep the PD system, we need to keep the FD system, and then add another system if that's what the department's asking for. But the original, but some of the initial talk was, well, ADP can handle the Kelly days, so just switch over to ADP. But his system handles so much more than just Kelly days, it handles vehicle maintenance, it handles, it's a very comprehensive system. So we have to be able to have that ability to export versus forcing everybody to a single system.
I wasn't in that meeting when ADP came out and all that, but the goal that Holly had was to accommodate everybody. We were trying to find a system. We had different carriers come in that talked to us about payroll. We were trying to find one that worked with everybody. So the problem's out there. We know it's out there. We're trying to solve it. It has to, I mean, we just can't look at a view that say, hey, we can export it to ADP, but then Dave decides that I'm not going to do that. I mean, that's not going to, we have to come to a medium between everybody that works for all departments involved. So,
Yeah,
And
and
that's
that's
why I'm
why
emphasizing how important that piece is. I don't want to.
yeah, and that's the conflicting piece I heard too, is that we were being forced to a single system, and that was just not gonna work. I mean, that was the feedback I was getting from my department heads, was they can't use their primary systems.
well, but if the single system allows an export from PD, who cares what system it is? He just exports it to them, just the same way it exported to
I
us.
disagree that I do care what system it is.
Well, I mean, you're exporting
But
it.
exporting it.
Right.
Yeah, whether that's A, B, C,
Right.
D, agree.
Right.
The concern was the word single system. It may be a single system for you, but it was perceived, maybe it was poor communication, but it was perceived as a single system for the township. Therefore, Chief Mosley and Chief Mullally would have to abandon their current systems to just go to ADP. Because ADP, if I remember correctly, as part of that conversation, was talking about they can handle some of their pieces. You know, just meetings.
I have to go back and look at those.
Yeah, and that was where.
The ADP conversation was very focused on the fact that whatever platform you're using to manage your time off and scheduling, your bidding, all the things we do, he said, absolutely, we can take your data can be exported into us for payroll processing. I said, that's going to be the goal.
Well, and that's it. And I would only want one carrier doing that. If ADP can work with Craig and with them and set it up so they accept all their information, we're just gonna have one payroll company.
Holly also made
Three
the
different
comment to me
things.
that she was worried about paying for, we're gonna pay all this money, we're gonna pay for ADP, and we're gonna pay for whatever your system is, and we're gonna pay for LabTech. I said, well, we need to, because we have to pay for their two systems, to be able to dump the information, because they can't just have ADP run everything.
Well, again, I wasn't in the ADP meeting when we had it, but my goal and Holly's goal, I understand from her, is that we want to have one comprehensive system that's more automated, that works with everybody. So being it works with everybody with something that would work with Roy to import his, Craig, Dave, all that, but we do need one. We can't continue on the manual input,
Okay.
human error side, or it's going to be an issue.
Why don't you
Continues.
all get together and iron this out and bring it back to the board for us to take a vote?
Well, that's fine, but I
Because-
just, as vice chairman, I would just urge that these are healthy conversations, this is how public government works.
Right.
The public should be aware of the conversations happening.
Well, we've had a good public conversation now, and everybody knows that we have an issue here, so let's just solve the issue. Y'all get together. Okay, anything else? Okay, if this, oh, yes, go ahead. Oh, Bill Anderson.
2473 Acorn Avenue. I just wanted to follow up on Nick's comment earlier about the bench, desk, table, whatever that is. You said it accommodates 9 people, and you have more than 9 people in the meeting. Correct. 2 people going off the sides of our, you're not going to either place to that, or is the table big enough, or is that all that all longer you can make it? Just a question.
We'll volunteer.
2 people are getting thrown off the way.
Well, if I could just throw that in, I don't know if I want to go. Joe's not going to be in it because Joe's going to be in the media room that's off that. So I'm not sure what
It's
the,
10, not 9.
Is it 10?
It's 10,
When I
not 9.
counted this morning, everybody was 9.
It should be 10. I'll confirm with Holly, but there's tech for 10 people.
So they put you in the back.
I'll be in the back of the room.
he's going to be running the meeting online.
I'll be in the room, I also will be in the back of the room.
Okay, and then you were coming before, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Oh, Joanne?
I would just like to say, someone needs to attend to our American flag. It's not hanging up.
I've talked with Holly about it. We're going to attempt to repair it again. The heat melted the hot glue.
Came off the floor though.
Yeah, it's
You have
held in
a
by
flag?
hot glue.
No, for to address flag. The flag in front of your office is now that?
Because it's hard, I was told that they were taking care
Okay, all right, I'll make sure.
I fixed it last night, but the heat
Okay.
melts the glue.
We have flags.
Well, that's, yeah.
Okay, do you guys put up a flag?
Hmm?
Can you put up a flag?
Yeah.
All right, we have a flag back in the office for the
That's
township.
what you're doing with my trees.
Okay. Clyde, we'll take care of the flag at the town site.
Okay, I thank all of you for coming. And this is how grassroots governments work, and you can say what you're going to say. And we just try to do the best for the majority, for our residents. So at that point, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor, Sue?
Aye.
Nick?
Yes.
We are adjourned at 9:04.
Yes.